So I guess you're going to let in the other people. Well, hello, everyone. Hi. First of all, this is a fun and whimsical um, presentation. And the genesis was years and years and years ago. I was asked to give a talk to the at a Harry Potter conference um, in Orlando at Universal. And they wanted me to talk about all the herbs in the books. And A, hadn't read the books, and B, we don't grow those herbs. So I thought, well, I should tell them about Florida's magical herbs. And my thesis was that if it's a native edible plant, it probably has some magical folklore. And it was true. And after that presentation, I was asked to give this talk on magical herbs. I've expanded it to plants, but more than herbs. But anyway, I was asked to give it to other venues, and I found 41 herbs that had some sort of magical connection. And but for this talk, I've included non-herb plants, and be surprised what has some magical connections. But this is fun, frivolous, and let us dive in. Okay. Oh God, why is it not moving? Ugh, I've been having nothing. Okay, John, help. It's not moving. Oh, there it is.
Just go ahead and click or press
It
the arrow keys.
It clicked. I need to, can I remove the fact that people are being emitted and waiting? It's blocking my screen. I don't think it's blocking anybody else. There we go. Thank you. Okay. All right, y'all, we're together. So a very, very, very brief history of magic. The roots began with the Celtic culture, living about 700 BC to 100 AD. And their religious beliefs became known as paganism. And paganism tends to refer to, well, in fact, it completely refers to cultures that believe in more than one god. And the Celts believed in the gods of nature. And in fact, the word pagan comes from the Latin paganus, that means country dweller, because even back in 700 BC, the cities were still were not the location for a lot of nature. And so fast forward, their beliefs, the paganistic beliefs, and many, many other rituals and other beliefs. Anyway, fast forward, all of it became known as witchcraft. And there is a modern religion called Wicca. And it is a pagan religion because it believes in multiple gods, all based on nature, Okay, come on. Oh, God. I don't know why it's not working. No, I don't want to. Oh, I'll do it this way. Okay, now, so continuing in the brief history of magic, there are 5 types of magic. Who would have thought it? There's black magic, which is evil. And black magic, the person is casting an evil, not so good spell on unsuspecting person. White magic is the reverse, the actual reverse, where it's very positive magic, it's healing magic, it's, quote, good magic. And the person, the recipient of the spell or whatever, they participate in the process. Then there's gray magic, which is sort of in between. The gray magic is supposed to be only for good, but the receiver or the participant doesn't know they're the participant. And green magic is totally based on nature and the positive energy that nature projects. The 5th, which mostly this presentation is based on, in fact, completely what it's based on, is folk magic, which is an eclectic collection of the use of herbs and other plants, faith healing, curses, hexes. So that's what this presentation, the research that I've done, be reflected in this presentation. So why doesn't this move? I don't understand. John, you may have to, oh, here it is. Okay. Goodness. All right. So the wise wizard has selected basil, bamboo, cattails, and dog fennel. And if this, oh, good, it worked. All right. So basil. Everyone loves basil. So its magic connection is protection from negativity. So if you bring the basil in to your home, it will protect you from negativity. Or if you plant it around your home, it'll protect you. And of course, eating it should also protect us from negativity. Cultivation. Unless you're growing the amazing basil, you need to plant this plant twice a year. In the spring around February, and let it grow through the summer. If it's not amazing basil, it probably most likely will succumb to the environment. And then you plant it again in September. And it grows, it's just an annual, so it's going to grow till it spins itself out. You can cultivate it in a pot or in the ground from cuttings or seeds. Just remember, lots of sun. Bamboo. Oh, Penny, this is for you. She's had her battle with bamboo. But anyway, if you plant bamboo, definitely only the clumping varieties. And its magical connection, well, not too surprising given the size of bamboo and how fast it multiplies, but abundance, friendship, longevity, luck, protection, strength, all of the above. And I read that if you...
I have a place that says...
Uh-oh, somebody needs to mute, please. If you take some bamboo and you hang it over your door, it's going to ward off bad luck and bad energy. So if y'all happen to have some bamboo growing, or just go buy something made of bamboo, put it over your door. Can't hurt. And it'd be kind of an attractive ornament. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh, cattails. Oh, I love cattails. The magical connection with cattails is that it was the original witch's broom. And they would use the seed head as the rudder, excuse me. So it is a native plant. It's a bog plant. And you can transplant it through the rhizomes or plant it through the seeds. It is aggressive. It is aggressive. So you have one, you're going to have more than one. What's interesting about the cattails, at least I think it's interesting, is that I have read many, many sources, although I have not experienced it personally, but the roots, the stalks, the flowers, they're all edible, totally edible. And I think maybe someone should try them out and let everybody else know. But they're actually recipes online. The stalks used to be used to weave baskets and chairs. And I think that'd be really cool to use them again in basket weaving. Dog fennel. All right, this is another native plant. So dog fennel, you can have the power and control over someone else by offering them a drink that has been spiked with dog fennel tea. So what you do is you strip the plant of its leaves, you put the leaves in a container and you put boiling water, just like you're making tea. You let it steep for a while. And then if you happen to be in charge of a bunch of unruly people or kids, what you do is you spike their beverage with a little bit of this fennel tea. And when they look up, the first person they see, which is going to be you, they'll be in your power. And anything you ask, they will do, like, shut up, be quiet. Okay. Mind me, do as I say. Okay, so cultivation. It is a native. It grows in moist, well-drained soil. It grows in the sun. It will grow from seeds or the rootstock. But This one is really aggressive, very, very aggressive. It's not one we probably would want in our backyards. So our fairy godmother has selected 4 more plants: the purslane, the magnolia, the oak, and the pitcher plant. Can't wait till we get to that one. Okay, purslane. The purslane that grows in our backyard is Portulaca olivacea. It is our native purslane. It is not the one, not the Portulaca that comes from the box stores. Its magical connection is you plant it near your front door of your home, it's going to protect your home and everybody in it. And if you're prone to nightmares, just sprinkle a few stems and flowers around your bed, and that'll take care of the nightmares. Now, cultivation. It's a very edible plant, completely edible. I've had it many, many, many times. And salads, I've actually cooked it with rice. There are quite a few recipes online, and I have some myself if anybody wants them. It does reproduce rather aggressively from the flower, or excuse me, from the seed that comes from the flower, from the stem. This plant will grow in the sun. It will grow in the shade. It will grow in dry conditions. It will grow in wet conditions. I have found them in my bog plant. So it's, as I said, extremely healthy. It's got all kinds of vitamin A and C and various other vitamins. But you pay the price because it will, well, as I said, it's very, very aggressive. So that's purslane, but it does protect from negativity. Okay, magnolia. So the story goes, and this is a folklore and is attributed to an American tribe, but I could not find out which tribe. So it just said Native American folklore, that if you're not tickled pink with somebody in your life, this is very Halloweenish, that what you do is you gather a whole bunch of magnolia flowers and you put them into the room of a sleeping person, and that person will not live to see the next day. So, but you think about how intoxicating one magnolia flower can be, and how it almost does take away your breath. So maybe there's some truth in this folklore. I don't know. I'm not ready to find out. So there are many different varieties of magnolia. You can propagate it through cuttings. If you are growing one of the cultivars, you can graft it, or you can grow from seed and wait, be very, very patient. As you know, it grows in the sun and takes a whole lot of room. In fact, our native southern magnolia, Magnolia grandiflora, it can grow up to 80 feet high and 40 feet wide. So give it room, but it is one magnificent plant. Oh, the oak. The people felt that the oak was the most mighty of all the plants. It was considered a god plant, powerful and protective. And, in fact, you could carry an acorn, as I have been known to do, in your pocket, just to be on the safe side and bring a little good luck. You could burn the wood in a safe place, but it will bring good health, energy, strength, power, protection. It's a very, very all-encompassing, powerful, powerful tree. And if you carry the acorn, it's sure a lot better than carrying a rabbit's foot. Poor little rabbit. Cultivation, we all know this. Sun and a whole lot of space. And you can cultivate them from an acorn. You just have to be extremely patient and have a lot of time on your side. the pitcher plant. John, this is for you. I was surprised, given the fact this is a carnivorous plant, how little magic chatter there was on the internet. But I did find that some people who practice this witchcraft, they use it in spells to catch something, which would make sense, and to catch money or luck or a job. And there was just one person who wrote a blog about the pitcher plant, and I'm quoting. It says, the pitcher plants are the happiest, goofiest, friendly beacons of light to grace the ground. They attract masses amount of happy energy, except for the poor prey that they eat. I have a feeling they don't think it's very happy energy at all. Sorry. All right, get it together, Dena. Okay, I'm moving on. Sorry, I guess I needed this laugh. Okay, so it is a perennial bog plant, and it prefers sun, and you can propagate it actually from stem cuttings. But every IFAS publication I read pleaded that you do not take the pitcher plants from the native environment. There are only 6 native plants that we have in Florida, and they're fast disappearing. And so if you want to have the pitcher plant as part of your garden varieties, buy a cultured plant that from a reputable nursery. One thing I read that I thought was really interesting, and there's studies being done. In fact, the paper I read was a peer review study that was done only 2 years ago, where scientists are analyzing the enzymes in the pitcher plant, which dissolves the prey. And by the way, the prey can be from a tiny mosquito to a large mammal, depending clearly on the variety of the pitcher plant. Anyway, they're analyzing the enzymes that dissolve the prey and thinking that it may help humans who have digestive problems. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So, oh, and one other thing, the IFAS research does not claim that no, let me take that back. There was only one variety somewhere found in Orange County. Well, the other day I was at the UCF Arboretum, and there was a pitcher plant, and it was flowering, and the flowering is bizarre. It is as bizarre as a whole pitcher plant, and bizarre looking. So we do have them in Orange County. It is not common. It does have to grow in a wet environment, which there was at the Arboretum. So there we go. All right. Now, 4 more. And my cat, my magical and stone cat, he had picked these while I was still alive. So, oh, how I miss that cat. He was stoned quite a bit. He loved his catnip, I must say. All right, our first one is rosemary. And, you know, rosemary goes back to the Roman times. And so if you take a branch of rosemary and rub your hand up it, and then you sniff, get the whiff of its perfume, you're probably doing the same thing that the Romans did back a gazillion years ago. Its connection, its magical connection, when it's burned, it emits a very powerful cleansing and purifying vibration. And 2 will rid a place of negativity, almost like sage. And I love this one. Any home where rosemary thrives is a home where the mistress rules. I thought that was a good one. Okay, so rosemary. It's a perennial. You grow it in the sun, you can grow it in the ground, you grow it in a pot, but the big thing to remember, it must have dry feet. In fact, the last time I was in Israel, I was in the Negev, which is the desert, and I saw rosemary growing everywhere. And there is, other than rain, there is no irrigation. So it definitely loves its dry feet. So if it's in the ground, make sure the ground, please, is very porous. If it's in a pot, good drainage. Another thing about rosemary is that scientists are still studying it. It's been going on a while, so they got to make up their mind. But they seem to still be studying it to with the concept that the properties of rosemary is going to help with memory. And this study's been going on quite a while, because I remember the first time I noticed that peer review was quite a few years ago. I went online just yesterday. Yeah, they're still studying rosemary. So, so if you have a test, if there are any newbies listening to this presentation and you have any kind of test, wouldn't hurt to have a little plant of rosemary right on your table, right by you. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. Violet, Viola odorata. This is the native violet. And if you gather the first violets of spring, your dearest wish will be granted. And this plant is a native. It quite edible. I too have eaten this one. I eat my weeds, I guess. It prefers the shade. It will grow in the sun. It bleaches out. Mine has never flowered in the sun, but it definitely flowers in the shade. You can grow it in the ground or a pot. It is aggressive. And I know Ed Thralls considers it a weed. Me, I consider the plant just sort of populating my yard. So it's a great ground cover. It really is. It really is. In fact, I have it growing as a ground cover in certain areas of the yard. Really very pretty, especially those little flowers. Mistletoe. And I debated whether or not to include this one because the story, which is so enchanting, really applies to a different holiday than Halloween. But here it is. So its connection, fertility, healing, luck, and protection. And once again, protection against evil, which is negativity. So there's a great folklore, Norse folklore story about mistletoe, which is an Anglo-Saxon word for dung on the limb. Yep. So the story goes, there was a cast of characters. There was Mistletoe, Baldur, he's the Hulk, Baldur's mother, Frigga, and her friends, which are the flora and fauna of the forest. So Mistletoe had it in for Baldur. I don't know why. Maybe it was jealousy. And so he took the bark of his stem and he made it into a dart and he threw it at Baldur. It was a poisonous dart. And it hit Baldur in the heel, Achilles heel. And Baldur died. He just died. And Frigga was beside herself, her little baby, her boo-boo, dead. And she beseeched Mistletoe to bring Baldur back to life. Not interested, not interested. Then the flora and the fauna all begged Mistletoe to bring their Baldur back to life. So finally he said, oh, okay. And he brought Baldur back to life. And Frigga was so happy, so grateful. From that moment on, when anybody or any animal passed underneath mistletoe, she would blow kisses. There we go. Isn't that sweet? Okay, cultivation. Don't. It is terribly parasitic. It could kill your oak tree. And it has to be a whole lot of it, but it can happen. And the berries are poisonous. This is the variety of mistletoe that we have in the United States. The berries are poisonous. The berries in Europe from that variety are not, and hence there was one story I read where for every berry someone ate, the woman ate, the man got to kiss the woman or something like that. And anyway, don't eat the berries. And in fact, IFAS recommends that you remove the mistletoe from the branch going 6 inches below where it's attached, but it also warns that you could do more damage or as much damage by removing the mistletoe as keeping it. So your decision. One article, in fact, two of the articles I read about mistletoe from IFAS said, whatever you do, once you handle the mistletoe, wash your hands with hot soapy water. Didn't know that. So I'm constantly picking up mistletoe from my oak that's been dropped from the oak tree. So now I guess another reason to wash our hands, not just COVID, but mistletoe. All right, moving on. This is it. This is the last one. Spanish moss. It's, again, protection. And it's the main ingredient used in voodoo dolls for both love and war. And there's a great folktale. There was this woman who died on her wedding night. And as custom in her culture, her hair was hung on an oak tree right above her burial grave. And soon, this is very Halloweenish, soon the hair turned gray and started to grow and grow and grow and grow. And it went from tree to tree to tree. So that's the story about Spanish moss, which is not a moss. It is not a moss. It's an air plant, and it is in the bromeliad family. And you want to cultivate it, don't bother. The wind and the birds, they're going to disperse the tiny seeds just fine, maybe too fine. So, okay. Those are the magic plants for today. So, any thoughts, any questions, any comments? And I don't know how to get out of this. Escape. Oh, there we go. All right, back to, I want to get rid of that. Stop share. There we go. So, all right, anybody have any thoughts? Oh, I see 2 chats. John, you want to handle that?
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, there's no questions. Okay, here's one from Andrea Carter. So
Okay.
what do you know about magic mushrooms?
Don't eat them. Unless you're really ready for an psychedelic experience. Be careful with the mushrooms. There are some wild mushrooms that are very, very edible. I have not a clue which one they are. And I just sort of, I stick to the public mushrooms. So I guess I don't know too much. All right. Okay, anybody else has a question? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I like the pitcher plants. Did you see anything else about any other carnivorous plants?
I didn't have time. It was just a pitcher
Okay.
plant that I checked out for you. But I thought it was very interesting. The dated IFAS publications don't recognize pitcher plants will grow anywhere other than only one variety grows somewhere in Orange County and not necessarily in the middle of Orlando. And there it was at the Arboretum. So it'd be really cool if we ever get through COVID to take a field trip out there.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe even before COVID, like we can social distance or something. Unofficially, maybe. But...
Or we could do maybe, you could go out and meet with the director and we do a virtual tour. So
yeah.
So I think the couple
Facebook
more
Live or something.
Okay. Working around rosemary gives me dementia symptoms? No, it's supposed to be just the reverse. And no, it never happens to me, but just the reverse. That's interesting, Janine. No, in fact, as I said, the studies are still going on about how rosemary actually helps with memory and not the reverse. But maybe it's, you get dementia and forgetfulness because you're so enwrapped in the rosemary.
Yeah, maybe we could do something on the medicinal plants, like at some point here, but I just know that the science is so difficult, right?
It
Like,
is, and the IFAS doesn't recognize all the plants that the herbalists recognize. So that's always been a problem for me giving that talk. So for some reason, I have Joe Ventura's name, right? So.
Joe, is your mic working?
I didn't go. Bye. I'm here. I'm sorry. I had to take a phone call.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah, there's some medicinal plants that IFAS does recognize, and they're recognizing more and more. But you got to be careful. However, basil is one of them. Mint is another one. Definitely, ginger, mint, basil. They're recognizing sort of the mainstay. Some of the ones like violet, I'm not so sure about. Although it is quite edible. It really, really is. An herb is a plant. This is according to the the Herb Society of America. An herb is a plant where we use some part of it for culinary, medicinal, or industrial use. And so in fact, that makes bamboo as well as the cattails as herbs, because they're used for an industrial use. So it's a large category. Let me tell you, if you're hooked on herbs, you'd be surprised how many plants are, if you go by that definition, are an herb. So anyway, I would love to talk about herbs. So.
Yeah, well, you can eat the bamboo shoots, right? So
yes, you can eat, and then bamboo is used industrially for floors, etc.
For construction. So, I've seen photos of like people at skyscrapers, like standing on bamboo and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to adorn the front of my house with some bamboo, some bamboo ornament. That would be pretty cool. Why not? Why not? It's like I do carry an acorn in my pocket, in fact. I don't know if y'all can see it. No, how do I show? Oh, there it is. There's my little, camera. Anyway, there's my little acorn. And it's in my back pocket. You just never know. You just don't know.
You wanna compare acorns?
Let's see your acorn. Whoa!
This is Quercus macrocarpa, which is bur oak. They're more common up in the Midwest, but I mean macrocarpa is literally, I think, large seed. So I mean.
Oh my God.
So,
well, that'd be hard to carry in your pocket. Wow.
And then look, Lisa says here, great information. Thanks, Dena. In Ohio, people carry the Buckeyes around for good luck. So,
there we go. So thank y'all. I had fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was short, brief, but.
Well, no, it was perfect.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you, Dena. I really appreciate you stepping up and having like this fun presentation. So I think and look forward to more to come down the road here, hopefully too.
We'll see.
Well, I guess we'll go into the all members meeting portion of this Zoom meeting. Real quickly, there is a Legacy Award Committee meeting that is going to be going on at 1 o'clock. So I will provide a link or in the meeting ID, like in the chat here for anyone interested in attending. And then we'll switch over to hosting that at 1. I don't think we're going to be here for that long, but there are a few items that we want to try and cover here. So let me pull up my notepad here. Okay. First order of business is the afternoon plant clinic. I have been requested by our director, Kevin, to have the plant clinic, instead of opening in January, if we could move up the timeline to November. And so I think that's still doable. If you're in, I've got a list of people that are currently interested. If you are comfortable being here and you're wanting to get back and spend some time in the clinic, please let me know. Shoot me and Shalise an email and we'll try and schedule you in with whatever shifts are available. And there are a few shifts opening up in the mornings too, because some people are starting to, they're starting to move towards not doing like 4-hour shifts and stuff like that. They're trying to back off a little bit, and they would appreciate some help in the mornings. So, and consequently, I think that if we go, depending on how much we're able to fill in the afternoons, which hopefully it'll be fully, I think we're going to ease up on the remote plant clinic at that point, and we probably won't even, whenever we have someone here to answer the phone and consult with people, I think that we'll try and not have people in the remote plant clinic at that point as well. With that said, if anyone is interested, any of the remote plant clinic people that are here right now and are interested in substituting for today, Kim Evans had a dental issue come up, I think. And so she's out, and if you could help me out, I would appreciate if you could still get phone calls. If not, no big deal. Just wanted to throw that out there as long as we were already having a meeting today. So with that, I've got a couple things. I'm going to toss it off over here. I'll hit on for the event, the Garden Festival planning. We are still trying to procure a tent. I've got some volunteers that were interested in kind of going out and buying a tent. I think we typically use about 9 or 10 tents for the festival, and we had a couple break this year, so we're just trying to build up our reserves of tents so we don't have to to get around those broken tents, and then also hopefully not break anybody else's tents down the road. If anything were to happen to them, it would be our tents instead. So with that, I'm going to pass it off here to Chia. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, but I cannot start on the video, so it's okay. I can just talk through. So after talking to John, we have Carol and Anna and myself. The three of us are donating to purchase one tent. I checked online, and also I think John helped me to look into the tent we have in the office. I think the conclusion is the Quick Shade has probably the strongest those metal bars for the tent that we decided to purchase. And after working, searching online, Quick Shade offer Quick Shade Commercial, which is a Quick Shade Commercial 10 by 10 canopy. It provides extra reinforcement for the eaves area. They call it, I think, the thrust bar is a reinforced. With that one that we decided to purchase, its total comes to the price itself is $169 plus $10.99 for the tax. So $10.99 is like $11. So the total cost comes to $180. And Anna and Carol both would donate $50, and I will provide the rest, which would be $80 to purchase one tent. However, we have another tent the thrust bar, which is the eave area, was broken, but we cannot find the parts for it, only because the parts it offers online is 40-inch long, and the one that we have in the office, it requires 44-inch long thrust bar for replacement, and we could not find that. And we are hopefully, if anyone would also want to chip in, probably $5, $10 each person, we could probably get another tent for the office. That way, because the one that's broken, we couldn't find the parts for it. And then we can replace one extra one, and then replace the one that we could not fix with a new one. So this is the status we have right now. I'm going to be putting in the purchase. If anyone is interested in providing $5, $10 that can help with the second tent, if you can send email to me, copy Shalise, and also Carol and Anna. John, if you could help when you send out a summary of today's meeting, could you include the 3 of our email address? So that way we can tell how many people would want to donate $5 or $10, based on your choice, to see if we can kind of increase the inventory a little bit. And in the meantime, I heard that Joe is the one have some idea on, how many we have in the storage area. So Joe, could you give us a little update on how many tent we have as far as the office who own the tent?
This is from memory. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is from memory. We had 5, if not 6 tents in the shed. The other tents that we borrowed, obviously they weren't broken, and we gave them back to the owners. The ones that were broken, the 2, were the ones that we owned. So I would have to imagine that we have 3 left. 3 left.
Okay. So that 'cause after talking to John, that we would like to buy 2 at least, right? So if we're 3 left plus 2, that'll be 5, and we still have to borrow 5 or 4, right, for the event. For I think what we need as the extension office. And so right now, I think between Carol, Anna, and myself, we are already decided to purchase 1. We want to purchase a second one. I will put some more money, and Anna said she was also willing to contribute to the second tent. But in the meantime, we also want to give everyone on the call a chance to see if you can also donate small amount, and then we can kind of pull that together to purchase the second one to make it to 5 tent for the office.
Okay, yeah. So there's people asking here. So Loretta asked about how to donate the money. So I'll put you in contact with Chia, and you guys can arrange separately. I don't know if you want to. You're using apps or Venmo or that type of thing, but I mean, she's keeping track of it all. She's got it on a spreadsheet, and I mean, it's just easier for us to do it this way than like to actually take the money in. And like every time we touch money here, it has to be documented, and it's complicated, as opposed to if just a couple of tents just happen to show up and like go into storage for every year. So that's our rationale for doing it this way, is that it's just kind of an unofficial donation. So,
okay, and this is Chai, and I will help coordinate and also do the purchase. I will put everything in the spreadsheet, so that way we can share with everybody and make it very transparent.
John and Chai, I have a suggestion. John was mentioning to me that he's going to be sending out an update email real soon. Maybe it'd be appropriate for just a tight, short blurb, and to get in touch with you, Chai, for more information and how to donate, et cetera, because the email was going to go out to a whole lot more people that are here right now. So it's a thought.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I'll make sure to have it as a bullet point on there with all the appropriate information. So, okay. I guess, so that's everything on that front, I believe. And then I guess if Barbara wants to say anything here about the Legacy Award or anything of that, just cover what's been going on that front. You've got the floor.
So this is Barbara, if you can see me. If you can't see me, I'm still here. I want to thank everybody who volunteered. We had 14 people that volunteer. Voting was close. We had a top runner and we had 2 tied for second, which Solis made the random decision on. And I thank you all. And the meetings are open. Every time we have a meeting, it's open. The only meeting we ask you not to come to is if we have an actual nominee and we are voting, because that's supposed to be a private secret thing. But thank you again for volunteering.
So Barbara, who was added to the Legacy Committee?
Pardon me?
Who was added?
I'm sorry. So it is Andrea Carter and Nick Lockridge.
Very nice, good.
And we have a meeting right afterwards. It will be the same exciting thing as always, and everybody's invited.
I just posted it up in the chat here for anybody that's interested. Okay. Well then, I guess for today's hours, I think we got half an hour of continuing education, and I guess we'll round it out here to 15 minutes of volunteer service for the all members meeting. So unless there's anything else here, I guess we'll conclude on this front.
No, I do. I'd like to talk about the plant clinic. When are you aiming to start in November? Given this is middle October, are you hoping to start at the beginning of November or in a month? That's a lot of juggling Shalice is going to have to do to figure out the different shifts.
I was told try and go aim for November 1st. So we're going to try and do it, but
Okay.
we might not get everybody in there until midway through November. But if anybody can show up, the earlier the better.
Okay. And are you looking at just one person a shift or 2 people a shift?
So good question. Because we are stretched a little thin in terms of personnel right now, I've been trying to keep it to 1 person per shift. But if you want, and also the coronavirus concern, like the more people, the more loading of the virus in the space that we have, that type of thing. Let me put it this way. Typically it's been 1 person, but if you are comfortable being in here with another person and both of you are on the same page, 100% you're allowed to do that. Just try and be mindful of social distancing and all of that too while you're interested in wearing masks, etc. And we can do that if you want to come back with like your old partner, like on the task force here. So either one is fine.
Okay, I have another question. Does the public, will the public still have to make an appointment to come to the clinic?
Yes, for the foreseeable future, we're still open by appointment. But with that said, if there are vacancies, which there are, it's pretty open most mornings so far. Like people will just schedule an appointment right there and at the front desk.
Oh, I see. So they come, okay. So they show up They don't
They show up.
technically have appointment, but
Yeah, they'll come
Okay,
knock on the
got
door and then
Yeah.
they'll want to come in and we'll say, well, please just schedule an appointment at the front desk and then like we'll let you in after you've gone through the procedures. They have
which is the temperature and this and that. Okay.
Yep, yep.
Don, I have a question.
Hey, Penny, what's up?
Hey, if if I get into the plant clinic in the afternoon, then are you going to take me off the remote plant clinic list?
Yeah, I mean, well, ideally, I'll see where you guys are at, but ideally, I'll have to rotate the schedule around on the remote plant clinic. I mean, hopefully we wouldn't even need the remote plant clinic if I get enough people coming back. So,
Another question, are you still wanting, if we had a regular weekly shift, are you still wanting us to just take a every other week shift?
no, if you want to have a weekly shift, that's fine. If you want to work, we're flexible. If you want to work 4 hours, like every other week or something like that, just let us know. Right now, everything that's going on here in terms of plant clinic operations, it's not permanent. Like, so like if you take these shifts, this is just what, for the foreseeable future until we can go 100% back to normal, you'll be taking a shift until then, which looks like, I mean, from everything that I'm hearing, we'll be getting there by summer next year. So that would fit the time frame to when we would normally would update VMS for every 6 months. And so about that time, we might try and recontact everybody that had shifts pre-COVID, and everybody that it'll be the same procedure that we had in place back then. Shalise will contact you, see if you want your shift back at that point, and then from there, she'll go through and start filling them in. Right now, it's kind of like I already have a list of people that were interested in doing the afternoon shifts. They get, it's first come, first serve. So like those folks have priority already. But from there, we'll just see what we got, and we'll try and keep plugging people in.
So if we've already sent our names in to that list that you just spoke of, we don't have to do it again.
No, if you've already sent in for January, I already got your name down, and me and Shalise we'll contact you to see what works and what we, basically we're just trying to plug at this point.
Okay.
So, okay. Well, I guess if you're still around, go ahead and log a full hour here, well, a full half hour, pardon me, for the all members meeting. But outside of that, just pay attention. I'll be sending some emails here today, like with all the updates and all that jazz. And I'll see you all in 2 weeks. We'll have Carmen Yan from our organization as well, like another master gardener, and she'll have another Halloween themed presentation. So anyway, hope you all are well and staying safe, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.